Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final Star Wars themed Draw Every Day, as we have been celebrating the publication of my last single tier Jedi Academy book, At Last Jedi. Was published this week, and we've been celebrating over the last 2 weeks by doing all things Star Wars. I've been drawing the Jedi Academy characters, giving you some behind-the-scenes stories. I have been attempting to connect with my collaborator, Amy Ignatow. Today is our last chance. We're going to check in with her later in the show. Let's hope her tech problems have all been solved. In the meantime, let's get back to brainstorming. So last Friday, I took a whole bunch of ideas via grown-ups from their Facebook pages, and young artists all submitted ideas. And there were so many ideas last week that I had to just take some of those ideas that we weren't able to use, and we're going to make some of those today. So one of the ideas that came out was a Hutt that was a gas station attendant, you know, like Jabba the Hutt. So let's draw a Jabba the Hutt gas station attendant. Draw a pickup truck here. And I'm not a fan of drawn trucks or anything mechanical. It's not my strong suit. And here's our Jabba the Hutt. Kind of finding those shapes. Let's give him a trucker hat. A little passenger right there. And there's the gas tank. Now I'll take out a marker and I will draw the finished line work. I'll draw with this marker. It's nice and thick, actually. That marker is too thick. I'm gonna go with this marker, back where I started. Of course, I'm not using photo reference for this pickup truck. I'm just going by my memory. So you're never going to get things just right when you're just relying on your memory and you're not working from reference. Okay, there is our Jabba the Hutt gas station attendant. And all right, let's see. Okay, some other great ideas that came forward. One was a Gomorian ice cream scooper. So again, I referenced my essential handy dandy Star Wars, the new essential guide to alien species, when I'm working on these books. Again, look at all of those post-it notes, all of the research I did when making these books. And a Gomorian is one of these pig-like warriors, and the suggestion was maybe he would be an ice cream scooper, an ice cream attendant. So, put my photo reference aside, and get my pencil. sharpen said pencil just a little bit. And okay, so I'll have my little kid looking to get their ice cream here. Here, this will be the counter. And let's give this Gomorian those little old-fashioned paper hats we think of, or maybe when we think of diners from the 1950s. Passing over that ice cream, and instead of having a big axe, he'll have a big ice cream scoop. I'll draw this kid to be just a little bit distressed at the sight of Gomorian warrior serving ice cream. But it's ice cream, so you're gonna reach for it. And in these this last trilogy of Jedi Academy books, we created a series of articles from a magazine called Galactic Zoology Today. And with that, Amy Ignatow really went on a deep dive on how some of these creatures operate as a species. And in Revenge of the Sith, there are these Gomorian warriors, and there's a little tidbit of information that Amy gleaned from reading entries on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, of course, being the Wikipedia, but for all things Star Wars. And so I don't want to give away what happened in case you haven't read that book just yet, but just know that the research Amy did here for this species made a difference for that plot line. Okay, there's our Gomorian ice cream scooper. Finally, one of my favorite species in the world of Star Wars is the Bith, the creature that plays music in the cantina. Super famous from A New Hope, that very first film. And so they're kind of like this jazz quartet. But what if there was a Bith boy band, and what would that look like for the characters? And maybe over the weekend you all can come up with a song for the Bith boy band. Typically boy bands have 5 members, so let's make 5 members. Maybe you could ask your grown-ups who their favorite boy band was when they were your age. Perhaps it was New Kids on the Block. Maybe Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. So there's always these tropes. There's like the older brother character. There's the bad boy character. As we'll put a backwards baseball hat, right? Universal sign for, well, this character's gonna be hanging tough. And let's give them headsets, because any boy band's worth their salt and anything will have a headset, because they'll have to have some sort of choreography. Let's give this Bith sort of Justin Timberlake some curls, even though Biths technically are bald. Growing up, I had a friend named Heidi, and she lived up the street from me, and she had every single possible New Kids on the Block paraphernalia, from pillowcases to the dolls. It was out of control. And my cousin Ashley, who's like a little sister to me, was a huge fan of NSYNC. Still is a ride or die for Justin Timberlake. So this one is going out to you, Ashley and Heidi. And Ashley lived across the street from me, so that's a big old, there's a lot of boy band love on that street, I suppose. And you know what? Sometimes they have really weird facial hair too. Let's give this one a Abraham Lincoln with like a lightning bolt shaved on the side. All right. Again, since I'm a righty, I'm going to ink it from left to right so I don't smear the ink. There is our Bith boy band, the Bith Boys. Of course, boys spelled with a Z. Well, let's check in with the pugs. It is time for Pug Cam. We have been celebrating the release of At Last Jedi, the final book in the Christina Starspeeder trilogy, my final book in Jedi Academy ever. And we have been trying so hard. I've been trying with all my might to get the tech working for Amy Ignatow, to get her schedule working, to make sure that her cactus was doing something else so I could have the actual Amy Ignatow. So we're going to try, this is our last chance, one last chance to beam down to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Amy Ignatow. Amy, are you there?
Jarrett, are you there?
Amy Ignatow. Oh, it's working.
Jarrett Krosoczka, it is working. Look, we can finally talk to each other. I am so sorry that I just couldn't get it together, although it was probably your fault.
I think, yeah, it's probably, our Wi-Fi has been spotty. Everyone's trying to be on the Wi-Fi at the same time.
Yeah, sure, it was the Wi-Fi. I'm sure that was the problem.
I'm sure. So just blame it on the Wi-Fi. That's going to be my country song. Blame it on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, I like it.
Well,
I like it.
It has been so much fun to work on.
Hits me in my feelings place.
There's been so much fun to work on these books with you. Do you remember the first time that I reached out in top secret to see if you'd want to collaborate?
I do. You sent me a text or an email and you're like, can I call you? And I was like, what did I do?
Like, who wants to talk on the phone? What's so top secret?
What happened? Why do I have to talk to Jarrett? Fine. And then you called me and then you were like, do you want to do this? And I was like, I don't know. and then I talked to like a bunch of people and they were all like, of course you do, you ding dong. Like, you have to. This is the greatest project ever. Why would you not do this? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, yeah. And now it is. It's so much fun. I'm so glad that I said that. I said yes. I really am.
Do you have a character that you most identify with in our trilogy?
That I most identify with? Is it weird if I say Yoda? No. Probably.
Did you identify with Yoda? Are you 700 years old?
I feel very old and not tall, and I can kill things with a lightsaber with ruthless efficiency. I don't know. Do I relate? I mean, that's a hard question. I think I always relate to all of my characters. I think I'm a little bit Christina Starspeeder, and in that she has a desire to do well, and I am a little bit Lindar in that I always like to be lit well, and a little bit Kid Borksmite, and that I like to put things together and create things and feel useful, and a little bit of everybody, I think.
Do you have one character that you really loved writing dialogue for the most?
Oh,
like
I think that's obvious. I think that's Q13. It's like it's between Q13 and Lindar. I those two. I just love writing people who are in sort of terrible situations who still find the time to be a little snarky. When everyone else is serious, I do like it when someone's like, yeah, but...
Oh, I love what you did with Q13, and that's sort of the beauty
So much fun.
of collaboration is that, with these books, so people understand like sort of how we worked, is that I outlined the book, and it might say on page 2 and 3 this is going to happen, and so some of the plot was there, but then you came in and really fleshed things out and put in some great B plots as well, but I really especially love what you did with Q13, because I think my initial concept was, here's Christina Starspeeder, she's really excited, she has a big Jedi Master mentor, and there's a droid that she just can't get to like her, and Christina is the kind of kid, the kind of person who just really wants people to think that she's great.
Yeah, I mean, and then but the question is like, how do you make the droid be difficult? And for me, it's just being that the kind of senior who knows everything, and then the freshman comes in all eager and fresh faced, and the senior's like, no, I'm not having you.
and then you also, so then I would get the manuscripts back. I'd send in the outline, you'd work on the manuscript, and we'd all go back and forth with the editors, and then I had to illustrate everything. Was there ever a time where you were writing a scene and you purposely added a ton of details just to torture me? Because sometimes it felt
100%. I was like, let's make a crowd scene. Let's make like a big interior where it's like all this complicated, Star Wars tunnel weird stuff. Like, because for me, I think it's easier to draw a forest than it is to draw a bunch of, machinery.
I hate drawing mechanical objects.
Oh, it's the worst, right?
It's the worst.
So I'm just like, oh, here's another starship. Awesome.
The starships I had fun drawing, but like cars and buildings and hallways. There's something with the starships where they're kind of organic in a way, even though they're very geometric. But it was just so much fun to collaborate, so all the readers know, like, we've been friends for some years. It was, I think, the Kentucky Book Festival in like 2010.
Southern Kentucky Book Festival.
And we were there at a table for a day, and they happened to sit us next to each other, and we became fast friends. And it turns out we have some people in common, some people I went to college with, you grew up with. Yeah,
like not even in the literature world. In fact, we named a character after one of them.
That's right.
So,
I just love that we now have sort of a historical record of that friendship and that absurdity that we've been able to come up with, and I've just loved working with you, and someday in the future we'll roll up our sleeves, we'll do something again. In the meantime, I'm just going to go back to being a Star Wars fan for a little while.
Oh, yeah. Actually, so my kids have never seen the movies yet, but on May 4th, we told them, we're like, we'll watch it on May 4th.
Oh, that's awesome.
So...
And you should check out, and grown-ups watching this, there's a Star Wars Kids YouTube channel where they animate pivotal scenes from the movies with the actual audio from the films.
Really?
It's
I'm only going to show
really
them
cool.
The cartoon from the holiday special. That's my...
Just show them the Ewok Saturday morning cartoon.
The weird, creepy...
and that's...
special.
Okay, yeah. I'll say that was my most favorite thing that we referenced. This was all your idea to reference B. Arthur...
The Arthur.
Which one was it in? Was it was in?
I think it was the
Sith?
first one. It was the first one, and what happened is that when you would write the outline, I'd write the scripts, and I would send them back to you. But there's a lot of stuff that I'd write in italics that was like, this is how it should be drawn, or just notes to you, which I thought was like fun to make our poor editors have to read. Which is that I'd be like, and now there's a fight scene. Pew 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 pew. Jarrett, isn't this exciting? Yeah. just because I thought it would be more fun for you. And then, but they go into like a cantina, and I said, and the bartender should look like the late great B. Arthur. And I knew you'd know exactly what that reference was, and you did. Like, you just ran with it. You were like, "Oh, well, let's do that." Not a problem.
Perfect. Well, Amy, thank you for being a friend. That was a great segue.
Aw, thank you for being a friend.
And may the force be with you always.
And if you threw a party, yeah, may the force be with you.
And if you exactly, the present from you. Awesome, Amy. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Well, I want to thank Amy Ignatow for taking so much time to chat with us about writing Jedi Academy with me. I hope that you check out her other books. She has so many wonderful books that she created solo. Check out The Mighty Odds. Check out the Popularity Papers. She has a great picture book called The Cutest Thing Ever. Amy is awesome. You hope you saw that for yourself in the video. Her books are awesome, and it has been an honor and a privilege to collaborate with her, and it has been so much fun again to work in this world of Star Wars. I'm going to clean up the studio now and take down the book birthday party. Next week, we're going to be talking about all things Lunch Lady as we get ready for School Lunch Hero Day, celebrating the women and men who work so hard to feed our kids every single day. In the meantime, check out this great artwork that kids sent in.
Please click like and subscribe and keep drawing. See you soon.